We all worry about money, right? But what if the biggest, most dangerous financial mistake you could make isn't just one thing? What if it's a moving target? Well, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to build a financial roadmap for your life, pointing out the #1 money pitfall for every single decade, and I'll show you exactly how to dodge it.
So, let's just get right to it. What do you think it is? What is the single biggest financial mistake a person can make? Is it getting buried in credit card debt? Or maybe, not saving for a rainy day? Or picking that one hot stock that just goes to zero?
Well, here's the surprising truth. There isn't just one answer. The most costly mistake you can make actually changes depending on how old you are. The thing that could absolutely sink your finances in your 20s is totally different from the trap you need to watch out for in your 40s or 50s.
Okay, let's dive right in, starting with your 20s. Think of this decade as laying the foundation for your entire financial house. And believe me, getting it wrong here can cause some serious cracks down the road.
So, what's mistake #1 in your 20s? It's simple, not investing early enough. And it all comes down to one magic word: compounding. That's just a fancy term for your money making its own money. I mean, just look at this chart. If you start putting away just $200 a month at age 25, you could have over $600,000 by retirement. But if you wait just 10 years and start at 35, that number gets chopped in half. That 10-year delay costs you over $300,000. It's insane. Your biggest asset in your 20s isn't money, it's time. The second big mistake is a weird one. It's not building any credit. This quote just says it all. You think, hey, I have no debt, that's great. But a credit score is like your financial report card. It tells banks and landlords if you're reliable. This woman had no report card at all, so even though she was responsible, she couldn't get approved for basic stuff like an apartment or a car. You have to build that history before you need it. So how do you do it? It's actually really simple. First, get a basic starter credit card. Second, just use it for small things you're already buying, like your morning coffee or gas. And third, and this is the most important part, automate your payments. Make sure it's paid on time every single time. That payment history is the biggest piece of your score. Oh, and another huge trap in your 20s? Buying way too much car. It's so tempting, but it can sink you. To stay safe, just remember the 24-10 rule. It means you put at least 20% down, you finance the car for no more than 4 years, and this is the key, your total monthly payment is less than 10% of your gross monthly income. That's your salary before taxes. And let's wrap up the 20s with 2 quick but critical mistakes. First, not having a budget. I mean, almost 70% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. You just have to know where your money is going. And second, moving out before you're financially ready. Seriously, staying home an extra year or two to build up a solid emergency fund can give you a massive head start for the rest of your life.
Okay, now let's jump into your 30s. This is often the decade of huge life events. The financial stakes get a lot higher, and the mistakes can be way more expensive.
First up, and I know this is a tough one, splurging on a wedding. The costs can get absolutely out of control, as you can see here. We're talking 20 grand easy before you even buy the ring. And look, it's a huge day, I get it, but starting your marriage with a mountain of debt is a terrible foundation. A really smart rule of thumb, try to keep the total cost of the wedding under 20% of your combined annual income.
All right, next up, buying too much house. Everyone gets fixated on the mortgage payment, but they completely forget about all these other hidden costs. You got property taxes, insurance, repairs. I mean, the furnace is going to break eventually, right? All these things can easily add up to over $21,000 a year on top of your mortgage. It's a perfect illustration of why buying a house you can comfortably afford is so important.
And the final big mistake of the 30s is a really sneaky one. It's called lifestyle creep. It's what happens when you get a raise and suddenly your spending goes up to match it. A nicer car, a bigger apartment, more expensive dinners. It feels awesome in the moment, but you're not actually getting ahead. Here's a little trick. Before you make a big upgrade, calculate its total cost over 5 or even 10 years. Seeing that big number might just make you think twice.
All right, on to the 40s. So if your 20s were about the foundation and your 30s were about those big milestones, your 40s are the decade to get dead serious about planning for the future. Time is still on your side, but that window is definitely starting to get a little smaller.
So what's the biggest mistake in your 40s? It's falling behind on retirement savings. But what does behind even mean? Well, Fidelity has a great rule of thumb. By the time you hit 40, you should aim to have about 3 times your annual salary saved up.
So if you're making $100,000 a year, your goal should be a $300,000 nest egg.
But how much do you need in total? A really simple tool to figure this out is the 4% rule. Basically, it says you can safely withdraw 4% of your savings each year in retirement without running out of cash. So you can work backward. Let's say you want to pull $40,000 a year from your savings. Well, that means you'll need a nest egg of $1 million. All of a sudden, that big, scary goal becomes a real, concrete number you can work toward.
And there are two other massive oversights in your 40s: having no estate plan and not having enough insurance. An estate plan sounds complicated, but it's really just a set of instructions, like a will, to make sure your money goes to the right people if something happens to you. And if anyone, like a spouse or kids, depends on your income, a life insurance policy worth 10 to 15 times your salary is an absolute must-have safety net.
Now we're hitting the 50s. This is the final sprint, the pre-retirement push. Financial discipline during this decade is absolutely critical. You're trying to pack away as much as you can and get rid of anything holding you back.
A truly devastating mistake in your 50s is dipping into your retirement funds early. Not only do you lose out on all the future growth that money would have made, but the immediate hit is just brutal. Taking out just $10,000 can cost you over $3,000 in taxes and penalties right off the top. It is almost never, ever worth it. So think of your 50s as a financial tune-up. Here's your checklist. First, attack any high-interest debt, like credit cards, with everything you've got. Second, you still need your money to grow, so don't get scared and pull everything out of the stock market. And third, you have to maximize what are called catch-up contributions. It's a special rule that lets people over 50 save extra money in their retirement accounts. It's a huge advantage. You've got to use it.
And finally, we've made it to the 60s. The entire game changes here. For 40 years, you've been focused on saving and accumulating. Now, you have to flip a switch and become a confident spender, ready to live off the assets you've worked so hard to build.
Now this is going to blow your mind. The most common mistake people make in their 60s is not what you think. It's not overspending, it's underspending. Yet, after decades of being in a saving mindset, a lot of people are just too scared to actually use their money. While the 4% rule is a safe guideline, check this out. The average retiree only withdraws about half that, mostly because they're afraid of running out. The real tragedy is they miss out on enjoying the wealth they spent their whole lives building.
Another huge decision is when to start taking Social Security. This timeline makes the trade-off super clear. You can start as early as 62, but you'll only get about 70% of your full benefit for the rest of your life. But if you can hold off until your full retirement age, which is around 67 for most of us, you get 100%. Waiting just a few more years can make a massive difference in your monthly income forever.
And please remember, a good retirement isn't just about the money. You need a plan for what you're going to do with all your newfound time. And you absolutely must have a plan for healthcare. Get this. Fidelity estimates the average retired couple will need around $315,000 just for medical expenses in retirement. Knowing your plan inside and out is critical. So, after going through this entire roadmap from your 20s all the way to your 60s, here's the final question, and it's for you. No matter what decade you're in right now, what is one small, tangible change you can make this week, just this week, to improve your financial future? Maybe it's automating one bill payment, or finally setting up a budget, or even just bumping up your 401k contribution by 1%. What's it gonna